All right, hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this live on Twitch, we're still playing. Yeah, I'm a little upset about the East Frisia situation. Between episodes, we looked around a little bit, and it looks like Oldenburg might possibly someday be a possible target. If Burgundy attacks France or Provence and doesn't want to defend, then this is probably the easiest route for expansion. Then I was looking at the Condottieri flag, and it's England. Now, the trick with England is you can't rent a Condottieri to someone if you don't have land access to their capital. So they say they want troops, but they don't really want troops because we don't have land access to their capital. But then I got to thinking, but what if we transport our whole army to his land and then we like cheese him out of some of his cash? So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna auto transport all of our dudes over there with the one remaining transport we own in order to milk some money from him. And we're also going to get a claim on Oldenburg, just in case that opportunity ever presents itself with Burgundy. Okay, Poland took the Union over Mr. Lithuania. Twitch says, the thinking man plays. I appreciate that, sure. We still have one rival slot. I'm leaving it free just because if I sense an opportunity to get an easy humiliate or something, I don't want to have all of my rivalries tied up, because then I can't jump on an opportunity. Hopefully that makes sense. Fabricate on Holstein so you can support Sweden and get that land in the independence war. Support Sweden's independence, you mean? Right now they have 23% liberty desire. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, that's kind of a longer term thing, but maybe. I'm just gonna take this click now because I don't want to have that alert always up there. We're gonna wait till our entire army is over there. Denmark apparently just integrated Holstein. They got lucky. So the leader of Holstein died, or no, the leader of Denmark died, and Holstein was small enough that they inherited the country. That's a personal union, I think, at the start, right? That's why they're able to inherit. Just tech dip so that we can agitate for independence? Good idea. You're saying that we should get to Diplotech 27, then we can agitate Sweden. Great idea. Why didn't I think of that? We should get to Diplotech 27 as soon as possible. I agree. Maybe kind of regretting selling those extra transports, because now we have a lot slower return time on this army. Obviously, France is winning the war. England's gonna lose that war. They always do. We have enough to get our claim. Let's get our claim on East Frisia. Let's come back from that. Let me just think. I mean, there's no reason to fabricate on this now that Denmark owns it directly. We should fabricate on literally everyone that we can that is not part of the trade league that Lübeck leads. All right, our final army is there. We're gonna go ahead and make some money now. So hey, hey England, how about that? You giving me clay, or give me your money, just because I need it. Not possible because he's already has a deficit while having loans. Damn it! No, England, you've ruined everything. Son of a gun. Well, maybe we could rent to France. I don't know. Here, let's land in clay. Here, march down to here. Here, you auto transport to Calais. You march down to here. That way we don't have that boat move back and forth. Okay, diplomat number 2. You're gonna work on what then? We need another claim here. We're going to temporarily collect from trade with the guy who is in Saxony. Just so that we can go and turn on hostile trading to speed up this claim speed. Second diplomat. I still think we want to improve relations with Munster because he'd be a pretty good secondary ally for us. We do have 4 relationship slots. Sweden becomes historical rival with Denmark via event. AI picks that option 100% of the time. Mean time to happen 500 months after 1450. Well, I mean, it's theoretically possible that if Sweden gets support from someone else as well, not just us, that we could somehow manage to get control of this land. We can go for the claims, but I'm not super optimistic that it's going to work. I'd probably just take one claim. Maybe get a claim on Holston. We only have 2 diplomats. I need them to be busy. But God darn it. England? Are you just like messing with me? Is that what you're doing? Because obviously I want to rent to England. He's the safer person to rent to. I think he's trolling. I think that he knows my game plan. He's just being sneaky. Gain prestige, lose loyalty with the clergy, lose papal influence. Well, it's not like we have any papal influence yet. We're also completely incapable of getting a cardinal because our capital is just trash. However, getting the clergy loyal does help out. I think we can afford to lose prestige right now. That's okay. Before we do that, let's we have slightly negative. Shoot. All right, I was hoping we could scornfully insult somebody, but that's not going to work. Seriously, if you go into debt again right as my last troop lands, I'm going to be pretty upset. Should we be improving with the Pope right now? It's good to do that, generally, as a Catholic nation. However, long term, we're planning on going Protestant, and right now, we have no capacity to get a cardinal, which means the reason you improve with the Pope is because you get base papal influence at 0.5. If the clergy are happy, you can get up to +1 if they are, like, happy and largely influential. We only have 1 province, though, so we can't make them influential. And then every cardinal you have gives you an extra 0.5 base, papal influence per year. This gets modified by the papal state's opinion of you up to +100% if they have 200 opinion. So because we can't get a cardinal, and because we have really low clergy influence, it just doesn't make as much sense to invest one of our only 2 diplomats on the Pope. It looks like he went into debt again. I'm just gonna keep the army on his land then. Let's go down to like no maintenance for now, and just hope that he stops being in debt. Worst case scenario, our army's just gonna hang out in England. That's fine. Ah, see? Wait, oh, what? See? What? Don't you dare. Don't you dare, don't you dare. Stop pretending. You know you want to rent these armies. Super fancy. I get a claim on... Wait, what? Frisia, right. Claim on that one. Let's start spying on Mr. Denmark. Once we're done with that claim, let's go back to transferring here, since we don't want to be collecting in the English Channel. Not really. Right now our ships are currently protecting trade in the Lübeck node, which might not be the right call. Lübeck has 16.7 ducats with 566 power. English Channel has less total trade power with about the same amount of money. What kind of trade power multiplier do we have? 9.2%. Might be better to privateer, but it's close enough that I think I'm just going to stick with what we have. Am I sure I want my troops in England, considering that there's going to be Lollard rebels? It's a good point. We could get them black flagged first. Not a bad idea, just to make sure that they're safe. We'll do that. We'll ask for access through Scotland. March them up there, get them black flagged. Back to improved relations. They're still rentable to the English in this state. Now they're just completely impervious to being attacked. According to this, now Switzerland's thinking they want troops. What's going on with Swiss? They are defender against Savoy. We got Savoy is at war with Switzerland and Aachen. Switzerland has at war with Savoy, Montferrat. So it's just Savoy. They don't have any friends. Who's the aggressor again? Savoy is the aggressor against Switzerland. Just naturally. Now my army's black flag. Now I'm thinking we should probably bring it home and just rent to somebody else like that. I blame England, you know? Like, he should have reserved all of his money for us. It just would have been so much nicer. I'm just gonna come home and we're gonna not deal with England ever again. England is just evil. I'm not happy about them. Let's go ahead and continue improving with you. Negative 17 reasons for an alliance with Munster. Milan also just declared war on Switzerland. Cheesing the early game for money feels so dirty, but Denmark is domineering and should have a slot if you want to become their vassal. They have 4 relations again. Their national ideas do not give them an extra relationship slot, so they're already at their relationship cap. They do view us as a future subject. Alright, I mean, let me just think about this. What would be the advantage to becoming their vassal? Can't really think of one. There's a 50% development cost penalty when you're a vassal. Harder to develop your capital, or anything, when you're a subject. So why would we want to become their vassal? I mean, I'm listening. Sell me on it. What's the purpose of doing that? Who are their rivals? You get support, destroy them. So the argument you're saying then is to become their vassal, then try to get Poland, England, Scotland to support our independence and use them to murder Denmark, and then in the process of winning the independence war, take Clay. That's your argument, your idea? I mean, if we have no other option, we could do that, but I think voluntarily becoming a vassal is probably a slower play than just staying independent and waiting for a good opportunity. I mean, it's an idea, right? I mean, we're pretty well blocked on most of our options. Couldn't hurt to improve relations with Austria a little bit. You also think that it would just be a fun thing to do. I mean, yeah, that's true. East Frisia is still not in the Empire. Let's see if Burgundy's doing anything yet. He's still just hanging out. France has got 63 war score. Looks like our army is home. I'm gonna go ahead and get it black flagged so we can see if we have any opportunities for Condottieri. Cancel military access through England. Feels dirty. Feels wrong only having 1 out of 4 relationships. Lose 13 ducats to gain influence with the burghers and gain mercantilism. Alright, sure. Reasonable. Actually gets their influence up to 20. Grant Monopoly Charter puts them at 30. I think we have to be at 40 before we can do most of the clicks. So we don't want to, you know, pull the trigger on this yet because we're not going to be able to get. Well, I guess 50 dip is better than no dip, and it's going to be a long time till we can actually get anything. No, it's not worth 13 ducats. The reason I took the click is to get the influence. I want to get the burghers' influence up. Alright, we're gonna just take 50 dip. Feels wrong, but it's all we can get, so. If you're not familiar with this trick that I'm using, I guess I'll walk through it just one time. If there questions about it on YouTube, I want people to be able to know the answer. What we're doing is we're taking advantage of a it's an exploit, but it's kind of just like working as intended. So you take an army, you move it into a province that you have access to, and then you move your army back one province into your own land. And what happens is this army has a piece of information associated with it. It's called its return province. Return province is used when it comes to calculate zone of control and where you're allowed to travel. It doesn't show the return province right now because there is no fort and we're not at war and there's no return province, but it always keeps track of the last province this army was in. One of the rules is that you can always return to your return province, no matter what. So for example, if we were at war with Denmark and we went from Dithmarschen into Slesvig into Kolding, we can always go back the way we came, right? We can go out. We're taking advantage of that mechanic to intentionally black flag our army. See how I'm able to issue a movement command into this province even though I don't have access. If I try to go here, I don't have access, so I can't go there. But I can go to my return province even though I'm not actually allowed to be there, and that will cause us to arrive and then become black flagged. And when your army is black flagged, it's impervious to attack from rebels, from any army, and most importantly, you can rent a condottieri to just about anybody you want to because they think you have land access to their capital, because technically I can march to his capital. Black flag, it can go wherever the hell it wants. Right? So that's the primary reason that we're doing that. Okay, we can't use our guy. I don't want to spend military points to hire a general, although that would give us more possible money. Let's just see what we can get from Switzerland. 37.74 monies. Sold. Now we're going to be super cheesy and, you know, not actually help. Because why should we? It's not my fault he thought I was actually going to come down there and help him. 18 months from now, we will cancel the contract and, you know, just be happy with the fact that he gave us some monies. We do need to be careful renting out our army like this because now we technically are a one province minor with no army and one ally. And if that ally doesn't defend us, then we would just die. Denmark has a permanent claim on our province, but he's not going to attack the Empire. In that case, the Emperor would protect us. Kind of thinking we want to hire an advisor. I think we want to get a mill advisor. We'll just operate at a loss for now. Do you stay black flag now that you're condottieri? Yep. Which means our army is still impervious. If we marched onto our own land, or we marched onto land occupied or owned by the person we rented it to, Switzerland in this case, we would become unblack flagged. So if I marched to here, because they have it occupied, that would unblack flag us. If I go to here, we will stay black flagged because there's no reason for this army to get unblack flagged here. We have to march into their land or our land. I'm not even going to go back to our own land because if there are rebels, I don't want to fight them. I'd rather just get broken by them. And also because if this army decided to come up here and try to attack us, I don't have any easy method of hiding my army. So let's just keep it impervious. Let's just make sure that it can't take damage from literally anything in the game. Black flagging is like one of the most overpowered things you can do with an army. Soon we want to start doing development because we want to get our force limit up, but we're going to wait until 1450 so that we can get some Renaissance. And we're about to have an election. So with that all being said, I think now is a good time to take a short break for YouTube. Ooh, Burgundy decided to attack England. All right, cool. Take a break, look around a little bit, and in the next episode on YouTube, we will continue. And if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. I'll be back in a sec.